Hello, viewers. Today, I bring you a story of an inexplicable experience from my past, when I was a forensic officer working as a police officer. On this channel, we share mysterious incidents and stories passed down among police officers. Today's story involves a phenomenon that, at first glance, seems inexplicable by science. Before I delve into it, let me share some background. During my time as a police officer, I spent many nights at the station. One such night, we heard an unexpected voice coming from the radio we use. I owe a huge thanks to my grandchildren for this story. They listened to my old tales, turned them into a script, and made this video. I am particularly grateful to my middle school grandchild, who edits these videos. It's with their support that I can share these stories with you on this channel. Let's get ready to dive into this baffling experience and the impact it had on us. This story is truly unbelievable. If you're ready, let's begin this strange night's tale. One winter night, the police station was as quiet as usual. Some colleagues and I were on the night shift, attending to various tasks within the station. It was quiet outside since it was late, and the station wasn't particularly busy. However, something was different that night. Usually, the radio is used for emergency calls and important communications, but that night, a scratchy, barely audible voice suddenly came through the radio. The voice was intermittent and seemed to come from nowhere. At first, we thought it was a technical issue, but the voice gradually became clearer and seemed to be trying to convey something. The voice sounded as if someone was desperately asking for help. "Please help. I am here," was repeated several times. My colleagues and I gathered around the radio, trying to pinpoint where the voice was coming from. But the radio's display showed only the usual information. It was clear this voice was not coming from a regular communication channel. We contacted the technical department to check for any equipment malfunctions, but everything was functioning normally. Still, the voice did not stop, and we became increasingly drawn to it. To take decisive action, I started an investigation. Inside the station with my colleagues, we hoped to find some clue about where the voice was coming from. We checked each room in the station, including the basement and attic, but everything was normal, and there were no anomalies. However, the voice from the radio continued during our investigation, and we followed its direction each time, but we could not pinpoint its source. Suddenly, the voice stopped. The silence that followed made us feel the tension even more. After the radio voice suddenly stopped, we tried to understand what had happened. We found no abnormalities with the radio itself, and we could not come up with a technical explanation. Various hypotheses were discussed among us. Some colleagues thought it was just a prank, but given the urgency of the voice we had heard, we could not dismiss it so easily. The next day, I decided to look into past case records, focusing especially on old records and unsolved cases, to see if there might be any clues that could have been communicated through the radio. After some time, I came across a file of an unsolved disappearance case that had occurred at the same station decades ago. The record of this disappearance case noted that the last place the person was seen was where the current police station stands. Moreover, the radio communication log from the time of the event recorded a message purportedly from the missing person, and its content was strikingly similar to the voice we heard from the radio the previous night. The phrase, "Please help. I am here," was exactly that. This discovery sparked excitement in the station. We were faced with a phenomenon that could not be explained scientifically, and it seemed to suggest something supernatural. On the other hand, there were strong calls for a rational explanation, and our team decided to dig deeper into this mystery. It became clear that further investigation was necessary to determine whether this voice was just a coincidental match, or if it held a deeper meaning. As excitement and skepticism mingled, we decided to conduct a more detailed investigation. We determined that we needed more specialized equipment and the opinion of external experts. I invited a professor from a local university who specialized in paranormal phenomena to analyze the recording from the radio. The professor and their team began a detailed analysis of the radio recording. They particularly looked at frequency, variations and voice patterns to see if there were any unusual features. The analysis revealed that the recorded voice repeated a specific pattern, suggesting it might have been emitted with some intent. At the same time, I also turned my attention to the history of the station. I researched the history of the area before the building was constructed, particularly looking into legends and old stories related to the land. In the process, I learned that this site had once been a meeting place where many important decisions were made. This land had been visited by various people over the years, and it was filled with a lot of emotions and energy. Through collaborative work with the professor's team, it was suggested that the recorded voice might be linked to some past event. We explored the possibility that local legends and stories could be behind the phenomenon. By combining this information, the historical connections and intentions, or messages behind the strange occurrences in the station gradually became clearer. As we progressed with the detailed investigation of this incident, we received additional testimonies from retired police officers. They mentioned having similar experiences in the past, especially hearing inexplicable voices and sounds during night shifts. These testimonies suggested that the phenomenon we experienced was not a one-time event. With the help of local historians, old artifacts were discovered beneath the site, where the police station stands. These artifacts indicated that this area had played an important role in the past, and they included old records and letters. These documents revealed new information about significant events that had occurred on this land and their impacts. We also set up a session to conduct a nighttime investigation in the station with a paranormal researcher. During this session, we attempted to measure energy and capture sounds using specialized equipment, trying to find the source of this strange phenomenon. This investigation confirmed abnormal energy readings at specific locations, suggesting a high likelihood that these spots were connected to past events. The combination of these investigations, testimonies, and historical research led to the formation of an interpretation of the phenomenon. This place had influenced the fates of many people over the years, and it was theorized that strong emotions and unresolved events from the past were somehow affecting the present. This mysterious phenomenon, where the past and present intersect, could potentially be a message transcending time and space. As this fascinating investigation progressed, local media interest grew. We received media coverage, which broadened the scope of our investigation. As people from other areas also started to share similar experiences, the community's response was significant, with many residents near the police station revealing they had experienced strange phenomena in the past, indicating these were part of a collective memory deeply rooted in the area's history. The detailed investigation of the event also attracted academic interest, leading to the cooperation of several universities and research institutions in studying this phenomenon. This collaboration allowed us to explore the mystery not only from a paranormal perspective, but also from historical and social aspects. New research projects were launched, and a long-term investigation was initiated. The continuous research and extensive data collection led to the proposal of a new theory regarding the phenomenon we were facing. This theory suggested that old emotions and events could influence the present under certain conditions through a window of time. This theory, attempting to integrate a scientific approach with paranormal research, gained support from many researchers. This series of investigations and experiences demonstrated that the past and present are more closely linked than we had thought. From my experience as a police officer, I learned that many phenomena exist that cannot be explained by science. This investigation allowed us to glimpse how history affects the present. Finally, if you found this video interesting, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any strange experiences or comments about this video, We welcome your shares in the comments section. Advice for my grandchild, who edits these videos, is also greatly appreciated. Let's share these stories and explore the mysterious world together.